So I was born in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos is the capital city, it's the largest city. And that's where I lived practically all my life. But I went to college in a smaller state, we call it Ogun State. It's very near Lagos State. So after my college, during my last year, senior year in college, I applied for a scholarship to study in Italy. So I went to Italy. It's a one-year course. That's where I met my husband. And then after the 1 year, I came back to Nigeria to get married and finish up on some other things. Then I came to the United States. That was in August 1999. So I first went to Chicago, University of Illinois, Chicago, for my master's. I finished in 2001. And then I went to University of Tennessee in Knoxville, 2001 to, that's where I was till I came to Monmouth in 2007, August. So before I came to Monmouth, I've never had Monmouth. I don't even know where it is, but I just saw the ad and I applied. I said, okay, it's something I can try. And came for the interview, I liked the place, and then I got offered the job. So that's how I got here.
What would you say are, and I'm sure there's lots of them, what are the big differences between the places you've been and?
Oh, lots. Like in Nigeria, I mean, where I was born. Okay. In terms of people are more, let me say, friendly. You know, they actually ask how you are and they actually mean it because they really want to know how you are. I mean, it's not as if people, but it's kind of different. Here, it's like you're on your own. Something like, because the first time I came here, the first thing I really felt was the difference, the people that I left behind. And maybe that was just because I just got married when I come. So it's all very different, and I just felt like going back, really. Just said, why did I come here? What am I doing here? What was I thinking? But gradually, I just kind of started adjusting. The food, that's also another thing. I mean, I don't eat outside. Mostly back home in Africa, people are poor, so you just cook at home and eat. But here, cooking is like an art. You have to say, I love to cook. Back in Nigeria, you just have to cook because you don't have a choice. So that's something. So I kind of, the food, the people, and the language, the accent thing. People tell me, ooh. Initially, we don't even know what you're saying. What are you talking about? And the same, I can't get what they're talking about. So that's also another thing. So I would just say it's more of a cultural shock, because before I came here, I was in Italy just for a year, and in Italy, they speak a different language, so that's different. That's on a different level, and then I came here. So just that time for me to get adjusted to what's here and kind of find my level and see what I like and things I can do, that was the hardest thing for me to do. But, after I got over the initial, I kind of settled and I think I began to like it. It's not as bad as I thought, so.
What about the rest of your family?
They're all still in Nigeria. My husband now works in Canada. He works in Toronto, Canada. But we have a 5-year-old son, so it's me and my son here. But when I had my son, my mom came for about 9-10 months just to help it, because that was when I was in grad school. So, but she left then. But every other person is back home in Nigeria, and I was able to visit them. That was the only time last summer since I came here.
Are there any family anecdotes, things about is there like a culture shock story when you first came from Nigeria to the United States?
I mean, back home in Nigeria, the dream is everybody wants to come to the United States because it's like, United States of America. But it's different, when you watch on TV and you hear people tell you stories, different than you actually being there and seeing things for yourself. And you say, ooh. This is actually how it is. So, I mean, like I said, it's more of just getting used to new things. I mean, things that you never know that's how it's going to be. But with time, it's not that bad. It's just they're just people like me. I mean, they are bad people and they are good people, and the same. So you just have to look to things that you like and people that like the same thing like you like, and just kind of gravitate towards those. So I don't actually have a really big, like a real big cultural shock, but more of a general thing that any person going from one place to another place will feel. So,
any other anecdotes or family stories or anything else you like to share?
Let me think. So, when I when I first came, like I said, that was just like 2 or 3 months after I got married. So in my case, my husband and I have been we've been doing all this long distance relationship. So that's kind of a different because when I tell people, it's like, so when I first came in 1999, my husband was still working in Italy. And then he finished his contract in Italy. He came to join me in 2002. And then we had our son in 2003. And then he stayed for maybe another 2 years. And then went to Canada in 2007. So one thing I would really like is, I would have wished for us to have, a more, closer family that we can all be together and things like. But that's still not. So that's still something we're still working on, and hopefully we can get right, just for us to be together and that. So that's kind of a peculiar thing about my family. And my son, I've been trying to teach to speak my language, but he doesn't want to speak the language. So but I, I speak it to him. So he can formulate the thing in his head, but he won't say it in words. So usually when I tell him, then he's going to tell me, "Mama, what does that mean?" Then I will translate it. But sometimes he gets it. So, but he just doesn't want to speak the language. So that's something I'm still working on too. It's just to, because I really like him to know that at least have that feeling that your parents came from somewhere else. You can always find. So that's something else. What else?
Does your husband come from a similar region, or is he
Yes,
from?
yes. So we speak the same language. So that really helped. I mean, when we're together, when we speak, then my son gets to catch it. But now that I'm alone, I don't get to speak. So that's kind of make it a little bit more difficult too. So I just have to keep on reminding myself that I have to keep on, even if it's not going to make sense, I just have to keep on speaking to him. So I can't think of. Yeah, I think that's those are the. I mean, except for the usual stuff that any other person will feel. I don't think. Yeah.
All right.